Hello, my dear students. Welcome back to iKSR Chemistry classes. Here we are in lecture number 10 on Moss-Wire spectroscopy. In this video, we will discuss some applications of Moss-Wire spectroscopy. First of all, determination of a structure of compounds. The structure of a compound is whether symmetrical or unsymmetrical can be determined from the quadruple splitting in its Moss-Wire spectrum. If the Moss-Wire spectrum of a compound exhibits quadruple splitting, it means it has unsymmetrical structure. On the other hand, if the Moss-Wire spectrum of a compound does not exhibit quadruple splitting, it means it has symmetrical structure. For example, the Moss-Wire spectrum of tetraphenyltene exhibits a single sharp absorption peak at plus 1.21 millimeter per second, and it does not exhibit quadruple splitting. It indicates a symmetrical tetrahedral structure for tetraphenyltene due to lack of quadruple splitting. Accordingly, the structure of tetraphenyltene can be represented as follows. In this molecule, tene atom is symmetrically and tetrahedrally surrounded by 4 phenyl groups, and there is no electric field gradient at the nucleus of SN119, and hence this compound does not exhibit quadruple splitting in its Moss-Wire spectrum. The structure of SNF4 has been studied with the help of Moss-Wire spectroscopy. If it has symmetrical regular tetrahedral geometry, if SNF4 molecule has symmetrical regular octahedral geometry, there will be no electric field gradient at the nucleus of SN119, and only one absorption peak should be obtained in its Moss-Wire spectrum. If the structure of SNF4 molecule is symmetrical regular tetrahedral like this, there should be no quadruple splitting in its Moss-Wire spectrum. But it is not true. In actual practice, quadruple splitting is exhibited in the Moss-Wire spectrum of SNF4. It means it does not have regular tetrahedral geometry. These studies indicate that this compound has polymeric structure containing hexa-coordinated tene with both bridging and non-bridging fluorine atoms. SNF4 molecule contains planar layers of octahedrally coordinated tene, in which octahedra share 4 corners and there are 2 terminal fluorine atoms situated trans to each other. It means in the crystal structure of SNF4, each SN atom is octahedrally surrounded by 6 F atoms, out of which 4 F atoms act as bridging ligand and are shared between 2 tene atoms. At the same time, each tene atom is bonded to 2 terminal fluorine atoms which are not shared, and these are situated trans to each other. This fact is also supported by the polymeric structure of SNF4 is also supported by much higher melting point of SNF4 due to its polymeric nature. The melting points of tetrahalides of tin in degree centigrade are given in this table. It is obvious that the melting point of SnF4 is 700 degrees centigrade, while that of SnCl4 is minus 33 degrees centigrade. The melting point of SnBr4 is 31 degrees centigrade, and that of SnI4 is 144 degrees centigrade. SnF4 is non-volatile solid having high melting point. SnCl4 is a volatile liquid. On the other hand, SnBr4 and SnI4 are volatile solids. This high melting point of SnF4 molecule supports its polymeric structure. The polymeric structure of SnF4 is represented in the following figure. Tin atom is octahedrally surrounded by 6 fluorine atoms, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Out of these 6 fluorine atoms, 4 F atoms are shared between 2 tin atoms. These 4 F atoms are shared between 2 tin atoms. It is bonded to this tin atom also and this tin atom also. At the same time, each tin atom is bonded to 2 terminal fluorine atoms which are not shared, and these are situated trans to each other. The structure of Fe3CO12 has been studied and elucidated with the help of its Moss-Weyr spectrum. On the basis of single crystal X-ray diffraction studies, Erickson and Fairhall suggested 3 possible molecular structures for Fe3CO12 molecule. On the basis of single crystal X-ray diffraction studies, 2 scientists, Erickson and Fairhall, suggested 3 possible molecular structures for Fe3CO12. In all the 3 cases, the iron atoms form a triangle but different surroundings by the CO groups. It is obvious that in all the above 3 structures proposed by Erickson and Fairhall, 3 Fe atoms are situated at the corners of an equilateral triangle, but each Fe atom has different surroundings by CO groups. These structures of Fe3CO12 are shown in the following figure. 3 possible structures for Fe3CO12 suggested on the basis of single crystal X-ray diffraction studies made by Erickson and Fairhall. A structure number 1, a structure number 2 and a structure number 3. These 3 structures have been proposed for Fe3CO12 on the basis of single crystal X-ray diffraction studies. In structure 1, 3 Fe atoms are situated at the corners of an equilateral triangle, and all the 3 Fe atoms have same chemical environment. Each Fe atom is bonded to 4 terminal carbonyl groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. It is terminal carbonyl group. Each Fe atom is bonded to 4 terminal carbonyl groups, and hence all the 3 Fe atoms have the same chemical environment. The structure 2 is also symmetrical, in which Fe atoms are situated at the corners of an equilateral triangle, and each Fe atom is bonded to 2 terminal carbonyl groups and 4 bridging carbonyl groups, 1, 2, 3, 4. and same chemical environment is present around each Fe atom of structure 2. On the other hand, the structure 3 of Fe3CO12 is unsymmetrical. Two Fe atoms marked as A have same chemical environment. These Fe atoms are bonded to 3 terminal carbonyl groups and 2 bridging carbonyl groups. The same environment is present around this Fe atom also, but the chemical environment around Fe atom marked as B is different from that of A. The Fe atom marked as B is bonded to 4 terminal carbonyl groups 1, 2, 3 and 4 and no bridging carbonyl group. It is obvious that the structures 1 and 2 are symmetrical, in which the chemical environment around each Fe atom is equivalent. On the other hand, in structure 3, the chemical environment around Fe atoms A is same, but it is different from the chemical environment around Fe atom marked as B. In the structures 1 and 2, 3 Fe atoms have identical surroundings and hence their Morswire spectra are expected to show only one type of resonance signal, and structures 1 and 2 should not exhibit quadruple splitting in their Morswire spectra. The structure 3 has 2 identical iron positions. The Fe atoms marked as A, 2 Fe atoms marked as A have the same chemical environment. On the other hand, the third Fe atom marked as B has different chemical environment. In this case, Morswire spectrum is expected to show 2 different types of resonance signals with an area ratio of 2:1. The Fe atoms marked as A should exhibit absorption peak with an area 2, while the Fe atom marked as B should exhibit a signal, an absorption peak with area 1, and the area ratio of these two signals should be 2:1. A Morswire effect study performed by Greenwood and Greatrex indeed showed 2 types of resonance signals, a quadruple doublet for A and a singlet for B with an area ratio of 2:1. In actual practice, the Morswire spectrum of Fe3CO12 consists of 1 quadruple doublet for 2 Fe atoms A and a singlet for Fe atom B, and the ratio of area of these signals is 2:1. It confirms the presence of both types of iron positions. It confirms the presence of 2 types of iron positions in Fe3CO12. Hence, the structure 3 is the actual structure of Fe3CO12 and not structure 1 and 2. This is the Morswire spectrum of Fe3CO12. Structure number 3 is the actual structure of this molecule. 2 Fe atoms marked as A have same chemical environment and they give rise to an absorption peak in the Morswire spectrum, and this absorption peak exhibits quadruple splitting. This absorption peak splits up into 2 spectral lines, these two, due to Fe atoms marked as A. On the other hand, the Fe atom marked as B exhibits a singlet peak. This one. Here, the relative velocity in mm per second is increasing in this direction, while on x-axis the number of gamma rays per channel is also increasing. The actual structure of Fe3CO12 molecule is 3 number, in which 2 Fe atoms marked as A have the same chemical environment and their absorption peak exhibits quadruple splitting and splits up into 2 peaks. On the other hand, the Fe atom marked as B exhibits a singlet absorption peak in the Moshwar spectrum, this one. And second application, nature of chemical bond in Prussian blue. The Prussian blue is a well-known compound to us. It is formed during the detection of nitrogen in organic compounds by Lassen's test. Its composition is Fe4, FeCN6(3). The oxidation number of Fe within the square brackets is +2, while the oxidation number of Fe outside the coordination number is +3, and its name is ferric ferrocyanide. The Moshwar spectrum of Prussian blue indicates that it contains Fe2 plus ion in low spin state and Fe triple plus ion in high spin state. The Moshwar spectrum of Prussian blue indicates that it contains Fe2 plus ion in low spin state, that is a spin paired state. On the other hand, it also contains Fe triple plus ion in the high spin state or spin free state. It can be explained as follows. Cn- ion is an ambidentate ligand. What is ambidentate ligand? The ligand which can be coordinated to the central metal ion through one of its various possible donor atoms is called an ambidentate ligand, and Cn- ion is such type of ligand. It can be coordinated to metal ion through carbon atom or nitrogen atom. This is the structure of cyanide ion. It contains lone pair of electrons on carbon atom as well as on nitrogen atom. At the same time, it contains negative charge on carbon atom. If Cn- ion is attached to metal ion through carbon atom, it acts as a strong ligand. And while it acts as a weak ligand when attached through nitrogen atom. It is clear that if Cn- ion is attached to metal atom through carbon atom, it acts as a strong ligand. On the other hand, if Cn- ion is attached to metal ion through its nitrogen atom, it acts as a weak ligand. Fe2 plus ion of Prussian blue is surrounded by 6 Cn- ions with carbon atoms towards the Fe2 plus ion. Thus, Cn- ion acts as a strong ligand, and this causes pairing of electrons in Fe2 plus ion. Thus, Fe2 plus ion of the Prussian blue is in the low spin state because Fe2 plus ion is bonded to Cn- ion through carbon atom, and Cn- ion acts as a strong ligand in this case. This is why Fe2 plus ion of Prussian blue is present in low spin state. Environment around Fe2 plus ion in Prussian blue. Fe2 plus ion is bonded to 6 Cn- ions, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 in octahedral manner in such a way that the carbon atom of Cn- ion is towards Fe2 plus ion, and it acts as a strong ligand, and Fe2 plus ion is in low spin state. The total charge is 4 minus. How it comes? Plus 2 charge on Fe atom and minus 6 charge on 6 cyanide ions. Overall charge will be minus 4. And this is why the charge here has been represented as 4 minus. The Fe triple plus ion of Prussian blue is surrounded by 6 Cn minus ions in this case also, but nitrogen atom towards the Fe triple plus ion. The Fe triple plus ion of Prussian blue is also surrounded by 6 Cn minus ions, but in this case the Cn minus ion is bonded to Fe triple plus ion through nitrogen atom. Thus, Cn minus ion acts as a weak ligand in this case. The weak electrostatic field created by 6 Cn minus ions around Fe triple plus ion is unable to pair up the electrons of Fe triple plus ion. Thus, Fe triple plus ion of the Prussian blue is in the high spin state. On the other hand, Fe2 plus ion, as we have seen, that is present in low spin state. Environment around Fe triple plus in Prussian blue. Fe triple plus ion of Prussian blue is surrounded by 6 Cn minus ions in such a way that the nitrogen atom of Cn minus ion is bonded to Fe triple plus ion. In this situation, Cn minus ion acts as a weak ligand, and the weak electrostatic field created by 6 Cn minus ions is unable to pair up the unpaired electrons of Fe triple plus ion, and hence it is in high spin state. Here the total charge is minus 3 plus 3 charge on Fe atom and 6 minus charge on 6 Cn minus ions. Overall charge will be minus 3, and this has been represented as 3 minus. The intense blue color of Prussian blue arises due to Fe2 plus to Fe triple plus metal to metal charge transfer via the bridging Cn minus ion. Prussian blue has intense blue color, which is also called greenish blue colored, and this color arises due to Fe2 plus to Fe triple plus metal to metal charge transfer transition, and this transition takes place via bridging Cn minus ion as shown below. If the color of a compound arises due to charge transfer, the intensity of its color is high. Fe2 plus ion is bonded to Cn minus ion through carbon atom, and the same Cn minus ion is bonded to Fe triple plus ion through its nitrogen atom. Transfer of one electron takes place from Fe2 plus to Fe triple plus via bridging cyanide ion. First of all, the electron of Fe2 plus is transferred to Cn minus ion, and then this electron is transferred to Fe triple plus ion. It is obvious that Cn minus ion acts as bridging ligand between Fe2 plus ion and Fe triple plus ions in Prussian blue. Thank you for watching the video with concentration. Please like, share and subscribe it so that more useful videos I may bring before you in future. Thank you again.